we used to just focus on really big names that run, for clients, it was about People Magazine, Us Weekly, getting into the weeklies, getting on TV, on Entertainment Tonight or Access or ET or whatever those shows are. Now there's blogs, there's online press, and then there's all these celebrity and influencers social channels, right? They're the new publishers.
Welcome to Empowerista, female entrepreneurs finding freedom and fulfillment in their life and career. I'm your host, Alex Wehrley, the founder and CEO of Empowerista, an award-winning producer and national TV host, seen on platforms like Business Rockstars, Entrepreneur.com, and Amazon Prime. I am so excited to share my candid conversations with successful women as they reveal the tips and truths they've learned on their entrepreneurial journey. My guest today is Ashlee Margolis, the founder of the AList, one of the most renowned marketing agencies in the entertainment and fashion industries today. Ashlee creates long-lasting and meaningful strategic partnerships by pairing top brands with leading talent, causes, and charities. Her company has worked with some of the biggest names and brands in the business, including Jessica Alba, Freida Pinto, Under Armour, and Beautycounter. Let's take a listen.
Just saying the AList, I feel bougie saying the AList. I love it. What a great name.
It's a little pretentious. I feel a little embarrassed sometimes. I'm
it's great. It's so great. For those who aren't familiar, describe what the AList is.
The AList is a celebrity influencer marketing agency. We work with brands and help them grow through relationships with talent and influencers.
I feel like your business must be the type of business that kind of organically came about because of the relationships that you were making. Take me back 18 years ago.
Yes.
Wow, when you started this business, how it came to be.
Yeah. So I was at another company which really inspired me and influenced me, but it was a PR agency that connected brands and talent. And we worked on dressing celebrities and the brands, and then we did events for those brands and other brands that hired us, whether it was the Delano Hotel in Miami or a Cartier store was opening in Miami. So we traveled all around the country and we helped connect celebrities with brands through events and through dressing them. We worked with Jimmy Choo at the time, and then we also had a big PR arm doing PR for the brands as well, getting them into InStyle, into the New York Post. So when I left the company to pursue a talk show career, I still needed to work.
Being the host or producer or
I
what?
was trying to be a talk show host.
No way!
Yes.
Why? What made you want to do this?
That's what I always thought I was going to do, was be a talk show host. So when I left Harrison and Schriftman, my old job, I went to pursue hosting. Then I started doing interviews with celebrities, and I was booking talent with my relationships with the celebrities and the publicist. And I did some interviews for E! Entertainment. I did something for Entertainment Tonight. And at the same time, I still had to make some money. Mm-hmm. And my family said, get a waitressing job. And I was like, I don't really want to do that. And people had heard that I had left my old job, and they started saying, oh, can I hire you freelance to get celebrities to my events? So I said, okay, yeah, I'll do that because I still need to make money while I'm pursuing a talk show career. And then a girlfriend of mine left and went to the brand Coach. This is about 18 years ago. And she said, can I send you Coach bags to give to your friends, to your celebrity friends when you do events? Maybe you can get people to wear Coach. And I said, okay. So I started working with Coach, and she started paying me on a project basis. And I started getting celebrities to events, and all the while pursuing a talk show career, pursuing a career of behind the scenes interviews with celebrities. So when actually I was getting hired to get celebrities to events, sometimes the client would let me come with my crew. So I said, look, I'm going to book celebrities for you, but can I have a camera backstage? And do you mind if I just, while working, making sure the talent is okay, can I still do some fun interviews? So I started doing that along with the booking talent for events. And then I started having more Coach bags fill up in my trunk, in my house. And before I knew it, my Coach client said, I want to do an event with you now. And at the same time, a girlfriend of mine said, an actress friend of mine said, I want you to do an event for my charity. So I said, well, actually, Coach loves you. It was the actress Rashida Jones. And I said, Coach loves you, Rashida, and you want me to do an event for your charity. Why don't we have Coach pay for the event? Make money for your charity, raise awareness for your charity, and have everyone come wearing Coach. So that was my first big event. It was at her dad, Quincy Jones's house. It was a massive event. It was so beautiful, so amazing. And that was a real success. That was my first event on my own that I had pulled together. And we had Mark Wahlberg there. We had the Olsens there. We had Carmen Electra, Janet Jackson, Christina Applegate, a really funny crew of people that now, to be honest, I'd have to pay all these people a ton of money to attend. This was back in the day before you had to pay people to attend events. So we had a really excellent turnout, a beautiful event. And then I started bringing celebrities to the Coach stores. And it ended up becoming disruptive to the managers when I would bring actors in, because sometimes they would bring family members. They'd want to try a bunch of bags. And the salespeople and the manager started saying, you know what, going back to Coach Corporate, saying it's really distracting when Ashlee comes in here with talent because she takes my team off the floor and then they get a couple things and then we've missed some sales that were happening on the side. So my client said, let's get you a showroom. And to be honest, it was really her idea, which has really blossomed into the AList of this whole showroom concept that I have now. But she she paid for my first office space, and we moved in West Hollywood. I had a 2-story building, and the whole bottom floor looked like a gorgeous little Coach store. It was beautiful. So I started bringing celebrities into the Coach showroom. Slowly and surely, I stopped pursuing the TV thing because this started taking off, and I started really liking it. I do have a side in me that loves business, and I just started loving it. At the same time, I was producing a show with Fred Durst called All Access Ashlee, and I made a mistake in not finalizing our paperwork before we started. So we kind of finished this whole show, shot for 6 months, and then lawyers got involved, and it wasn't a great deal for me, and my family said, walk away from this, you could do this on your own. And that's one thing that I wonder if I regret, because I walked away from it. I ended up growing the AList, never really pursuing my TV dreams, but I really love what I do, and it's all worked out.
I love that you're talking about this, because a lot of times people don't admit that they had another dream and that they walked away from it. And sometimes it is the right thing to do to walk away from it. It sounds like you were at a point where one thing was feeling hard, the hosting, where it just wasn't flowing, wasn't organically happening. Meanwhile, you were just really natural and good at this business thing, and things were flowing and organically growing and blossomed into what the A-List is today. So was that to you the indicator that, okay, I'm meant to follow this? Or is there still a little bit of that regret of maybe should have stuck with the hosting longer?
I don't know if I feel regret anymore. I mean, now I do have fun on the A-List Instagram. I'll grab a celebrity and we'll do something fun. I love what I do, so I'm really happy with the A-List. And I think everything happens for a reason, and my business grew very organically and naturally, so it was the right thing for me. It would have been more work to pursue the TV career, because that's just so much work. You know, I mean, anything is so much work. What I do is so much work, but you know, auditioning and all of that stuff, I don't know if I was cut out for that.
And it's more of a passive role. I can relate. At one point, my dream was to be the next Giuliana Rancic, and I have taken more of a business role as well. And I think it's knowing your personality and what is going to light you up. And for me, I didn't like that passive role of going to auditions and meetings. I wanted to create something.
Yes.
I wanted to be in that active role, which being an entrepreneur is more conducive of.
Yeah, I knew I wanted to produce TV or host TV, and I kind of produce my business is a production, and I'm the producer of that. So I love having a team. I love making the decisions. I feel really creative in my job. So I used to think that I would be a host of a talk show and the producer of it.
But the game has really changed. One thing I love to point out to brands is, as a brand, you are a media company. Yeah. Every single brand, person, company is a media company because that's how you market yourself. And as a marketing agency, obviously you know that. So I love that you've incorporated that inner desire to share your voice, to have conversations with people into your marketing. So tell me about that component 100%. A little bit.
Yeah. So currently we work with a ton of mostly fashion brands, but lifestyle. We've got beauty. We just signed a hotel. We have beverage brands, but it's really great because we can put our voice into our marketing strategy for the brand. They come to us knowing that we are in the inner circle of these tastemakers, influencers, and celebrities in Hollywood. So they come to us to penetrate that crowd. So they let us use our voice. Sometimes their idea may be something that's really corporate, and I'm like, that's very antiquated. Let's do something cool and small with a really cool DJ, or let's do something in Marina Del Rey on a boat when the sun is going down. So coming up with ideas that my team and I collectively pull together, adding our own flair to it, allows us to market these brands in a different way. Being in LA, a lot of our clients, they're based in New York, or we have a client in Brazil. So they look to us being in Los Angeles, in the center of it all, to say, what do you think we should do to make our brand cooler? So it is fun because we get to put our flair and our eyes and our creative, brain power into, no, you should do something like this and do it out of the box.
Yeah, it's so interesting because so much of marketing obviously has gone digital, yet there is something to be said about that tangible in-person interaction that the customer has with the brand, and even how the in-person translates to digital. So can you give us a little bit of your expertise, insight into that world and how there really is a niche opportunity for events and that sort of thing?
Hey, super quick, if this episode is inspiring you, I'd be so very grateful if you did any or all of the following. Subscribe to the podcast, review the podcast, or take a screenshot of this episode and post it to your Instagram stories and tag @Empowerista so I can share your post. Your support seriously means so much and will allow me to continue making episodes. Lastly, if you'd like to read the key points from today's interview, head to empoweristapodcast.com for show notes.
Yeah, well, we have a showroom in Beverly Hills where everyday actors and digital influencers and tastemakers come, and they get to touch the product. All the brands have a little room. It's almost like a little mini mall, a baby little mini mall. And each brand has their own experience and their own room. So as we walk all these tastemakers around, we get to see who is attracted to what brand, what's speaking to them. A lot of our brands are, they're charitable or they're eco. And so what is speaking to each individual? And then from there, we can help build the brand's network of supporters. And it is very personal because then we report back to the brand and say, these are the celebrities and influencers that came in this week. This is who picked out your product. This is, who loved your product, what they loved about it. So then when we're thinking about event concepts for the brand or digital concepts for the brand, we're thinking about those people who the brand really speaks to, what their passions are. So
it's an organic fit.
It's very organic. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. It's very nuanced.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so let's talk about partnerships and relationships, because you obviously are the expert relationship builder, which is difficult for a lot of people, or they don't realize how important it is. I mean, obviously you're in the relationship business, but even for an entrepreneur watching or listening that isn't, you still need relationships in order to create, to raise capital, to build a team, to create partnerships. What's the key to building those relationships?
I think I'm really transparent and I'm really overly communicative and overly honest. We were talking on the way here about the phrase, fake it till you make it. I don't like that phrase. That does not work for me. I don't fake anything. If there's something that I cannot do or cannot deliver, I will tell the client right away. So in terms of building relationships with brands, with celebrities, influencers, with everyone in our network, it's being really transparent with what my capabilities are as a company. This is exactly what we are great at. Anything else outside of this line isn't exactly in my realm of expertise. So if a client comes to us and wants us to do something and I'm like, if I'm not sure, that we can deliver. We just don't do it. We're really good at what we're really good at, and we don't step outside those lines. We are very niche, very targeted, and we over-communicate. Today, a client said, we're so excited. We're working on a big environmental charity event. So excited to have you on board. We need these honorees confirmed by next week. And so then I said, we are unable to turn this around for you in this timeline. I'm happy to refer you to other agencies. I would never take on something. I know that I can't get it done in a week. I also don't think anyone can, but we can let them figure that out for themselves.
Better to under-promise and over-deliver and do what you do best and do it really, really well versus a lot of things that you just do mediocre.
Exactly. Yeah. So I always say we under-promise and we over-deliver. And I really communicate. And even with the celebrity too, I'm really upfront with what they can expect when they come to one of our events, when they come to the showroom, what we would love you to tag on your social media. We'd love you to tag in a story. If you don't tag and you don't share, no problem. You may not get as much product from us next time. And just saying, this is how it works. Take it or leave it. We're happy that you're here. The more you share on your social, the more you mention us on a red carpet, the more you wear us on a red carpet, the more you're photographed for your street style, the more we'd love to keep building a relationship with you.
Well, and it builds your future business because the best client is a repeat client. So the better experience that you can create for them, the more likely not only that they're going to come back, but also they're going to tell all their friends and partners as well, right?
100%. Yeah, so I think just being honest, being transparent, under-promising, over-delivering, never taking on anything that is making you a little bit uncomfortable or even stressed out. If something starts to stress me out and I feel it, I'll be quick to call the client and say, you know what, it's just not feeling right in my gut. Really go with your gut. This isn't feeling right for me. I have to step away from this. And we just walked away from something that was a huge opportunity for the AList. And it came the day that I told the whole team, we're going to slow down for the next 4 weeks. And that morning, something huge came. And for a week, we went back and forth. And I really debated it because it was a big opportunity. But then I said, no, I need this downtime. My team needs the downtime. I've got to listen to my gut. I've got to listen to my team. I don't want anyone walking away from the company right now. We need to take a breather. So, listen to yourself, listen to your staff, know when you could push the limits a little bit in terms of their work capacity and know when it's time to really give them a little bit of a breather too.
Ooh, that's really, really good because society would say, push, 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 do as much as you can. It's not the popular thing to scale back. We're obsessed with scaling up, but sometimes it truly is best not only for the business, but just ourselves to slow down a little bit. And there's something to be said about your mental and emotional health, your team's mental and emotional health. So tell me a little bit about that. How can someone watching or listening tune in to when it is the right time to scale up or scale back?
Look, my team would probably laugh when I keep saying we've had a slower summer, and they're like, really? But it's been a little bit slower. We do go really hard from about September to mid-June, late June. It is borderline unhealthy. So I really try to. In those times, I'll have a masseuse come and surprise everyone, and we'll have little 20-minute massages or maybe an acupuncture. I love health and wellness. So I try to do little treats like that in times that are, that get too much for us. And during the summer, a lot of celebrities travel. So we do always tell our brands not to activate during the summer because a lot of people are gone. And a lot of the big agents and managers in Hollywood also start to travel. A lot of Hollywood travels in the summer. So then we kind of take a cue from there. So we slow down a little. And when I was telling everyone all year, in the summer, we're going to slow down, I had to stand by my word. So we do work intensely throughout the year. But yeah, I'm also personally trying to listen to my body and be sensitive to everyone's mental state. And I just told my staff, I don't need you guys answering emails before 9. And when you leave the office, unless it's something that is time sensitive, I want you to leave your work behind. Because we've gotten into this culture of having to respond at all crazy hours, and it's unhealthy.
And it doesn't even necessarily help. Like you said, unless it's time sensitive, it can wait 12 hours or whatever it is overnight.
100%. So we're trying to find that balance right now. My husband recently said, well, look, the people who really want to get ahead are going to work those hours. And I said, there's a part of that you're right too. Those people that are going above and beyond. But I do want everyone, I don't think it's healthy the way people have been working with being accessible 24/7. If someone can't reach you, then they text you. And I'm trying to set boundaries with my team and with clients. But again, if it's something time sensitive, yes, please address it. Otherwise, we have to stay sane.
Well, and sometimes hustle is just an image. At the end of the day, I'm sure you as the founder care about results. And sometimes that means working smarter versus harder,
100%,
right?
100%.
100%.
Yeah.
So let's talk about celebrities for a second, because you've been in this game for 18 years. The definition of a celebrity has wildly expanded into social media influencers, reality stars. Tell me how that has affected your business.
It's opened it up. It's been pretty great because we used to just focus on really big names that run, for clients, it was about People Magazine, Us Weekly, getting into the weeklies, getting on TV, on Entertainment Tonight or Access or ET or whatever those shows are. Now there's blogs, there's online press, and then there's all these celebrity and influencers social channels, right? They're the new publishers. So we have widened the net of gifting. There are some actors that maybe they would never run in People Magazine, but they've got 5 million followers on Instagram. So now the actors that have big social reach, the YouTubers, the tastemakers, everyone with the social channel that has great engagement or a high following or a point of view is relevant for our brands. And because traditional PR in a lot of these in-book magazines, is a little, I hate to say this, but it's not a priority for brands. It's important for brands, but now they really also need to supplement their traditional PR approach with focusing on social media.
Well, it's simple. You want to go where attention is. And people are on social media. So that's where you want to be, where the people are.
Yes. And the consumer is on social media. The consumer's on Instagram. So these millennial shoppers are shopping from who they're following on Instagram. So a lot of our brands, when the bottom line becomes about sales, it's how are we going to sell this item? Well, let's get 10 girls to wear these jeans and tag them on their Instagram. And before you know it, the jean has sold out. So it's about, for us, balancing out traditional PR and celebrities who are paparazzi'd or they're Instagramming the product or they're wearing it on a red carpet, because we do a lot of red carpet placements. But it's about balancing that out as well with talent who will talk about it on their social channels. Sometimes they'll talk about a jean they love on their Instagram, and that could do great things for us. So it's about a little bit of all of it, but it's allowed the A-List to open up our net of who we're working with. It used to be very narrow to just names that are really paparazzi'd and walking red carpets. Now it's opened up to so many actors, tastemakers, influencers, YouTubers who have an audience on their social channel. So it's opened it up hugely for us.
Yeah,
hugely.
So interesting. Well, Ashlee, thank you so much for your time today. Really appreciate it.
This was so nice. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Well, that's it for today's show. As a reminder, show notes are available at empoweristapodcast.com, and I'd be so grateful if you'd subscribe, review, or share this podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and have an amazing week.